The sea has a way of returning what it takes, but sometimes it returns only a piece. It began on a late summer morning in 2007. On a quiet beach on Vancouver Island, a single running shoe sat just above the tide line. Inside was a human foot. As word of the grim discovery spread, another shoe washed ashore, and then another. Soon, the entire coast of the Salish Sea was on edge, from British Columbia down into the sheltered coves of Washington state. The public whispered a single terrifying explanation. A serial killer was leaving a trail of trophies. The pattern was as baffling as it was gruesome. The finds were scattered across hundreds of miles, often appearing after storms. The question wasn't just who, but how. How could a body be severed so cleanly, leaving only a foot, perfectly preserved inside modern footwear? Investigators turned their attention from suspects to the clues themselves, and they discovered the answer was not a weapon, it was the shoe. The lightweight, buoyant foam of today's athletic shoes acts as a life preserver, while the sturdy walls protect what's inside from the elements. The shoe itself was the reason these remains were surfacing. This is the unnerving science of water and flesh. In the cold depths of the ocean, the process of decay slows dramatically. The body's weakest point of articulation is the ankle, and over time, the simple, constant motion of the water causes it to naturally separate. While the rest of the body sinks to the seafloor, the foot, encased in its buoyant tomb, begins a long journey on the tide. Ocean currents act like a vast conveyor belt, and winds herd these light objects toward predictable shorelines and river mouths. Our minds leap to a predator, but the truth lies in the cold, indifferent mechanics of the ocean. Forensic teams can now trace a shoe's journey using drift modeling and weather data. Professional documentary narrator with clear pronunciation and good pacing. They build genetic profiles, match shoe models to their year of release, and compare sizes against missing persons reports. Each shoe tells a story not of a monster, but of an accident, a tragic misstep, or a private farewell that never made the news. Science replaces horror with answers. And as our coastlines become more populated and our footwear becomes even lighter, these discoveries will only become more common, bringing closure to families who have waited years for the truth. The haunting reality is not a hidden killer, but the way ordinary gear and an indifferent sea can turn a personal tragedy into a public mystery. And yet, even with all that we know, a persistent, unsettling detail in the data refuses to be explained away.